What's up, riders? It's Jim from Caledonia Keys. So what's the absolute best helmet you can buy? There are going to be a lot of opinions on this one, but at the end of the day, really, it depends. Whether you're a new rider, purchasing your first helmet, or maybe you're just replacing the one you already have, there are a few things that need to be taken into consideration. So in this video, we're going to talk about the pros and cons of different helmets to help you make a better decision what's the best helmet for you. So let's get to it. So when you go to the bike shop or look online, it can be a little bit overwhelming with all the different helmets out there. So what should you be looking for to find the helmet that's perfect for you? Well, the two main features you're going to look for, one is safety and the other is going to be comfort. And there can be a little bit of a trade-off between the two. Be sure to stick around to the end, and I'll also talk about a few other bonus features that you might want to look for any helmet that you decide to buy. If you find this video is helpful to you, don't forget to hit the like button, which will help me share it with other people out there. So let's move on with types of helmets. So let's talk about the four main types of helmets that you're going to see out there on the street. First, we've got the full-faced helmet. Then we've got the modular, the open-faced helmet, and finally, the half helmet. So full-faced helmets like this one are generally seen to be the safest helmets out there in terms of types. They provide maximum coverage since they're covering your whole head, and they have a one-piece chin bar to protect your jaw and the front of your face. According to studies done on motorcycle head injuries and damaged helmets, about half the injuries occur in the area of the chin bar, in the lower half, and only the full-faced helmet provides maximum protection to protect you. Modular helmets. Modular helmets look a lot like full-faced helmets, with the key difference being that they'll actually flip up. So a lot of people love modular helmets because it's so easy to pull into the gas station or stop at the local coffee shop and flip up your helmet front and talk to your buddy, or just maybe have a quick cup of coffee. Modular helmets tend to be a little bit heavier generally than a full-faced helmet, and a lot of safety tests will specifically test to see the odds of whether or not a helmet will flip up in the event of a crash. Open-faced helmets, also known as three-quarter helmets, protect the top, back, and the sides of your head, but they don't have anything protecting your face like the full-faced or the modular helmet. Some open-faced helmets come with either partial visors or full visors, but if yours doesn't have this, you're going to want to make sure you wear some eye protection, such as goggles. The last thing you need to do is to take a stone or an angry wasp in the eye as you're moving down the road. A lot of people do like open-faced helmets because it gives them exposure to the sun and the wind while providing a certain level of protection. Some riders will choose half helmets because they feel like they're the most comfortable and they want to get the most wind on their faces. That said, keep in mind that the half helmet is the bare minimum when it comes to safety. Although they should be DOT approved, you still don't have the same kind of protection that you do on the three-quarter helmet to the backs and sides, and you definitely don't have your protection on the face that you're going to get from your full-faced or a modular helmet. You'll often see a number of cruiser and scooter riders opting for the half helmet. Safety standards. If a helmet's legally required, there's a minimum standard. And in Canada and the US, that minimum standard is DOT, or Department of Transportation approved. There are a few other safety ratings out there, two of the more common ones being Snell or ECE. And there's another, arguably even more strict rating, which is FIM. We're not going to go into too much detail, but generally speaking, you're going to find a lot more Snell and ECE helmets out there if you want a higher safety standard. And these two ratings are generally accepted to be a higher standard of safety than just simply DOT. There are a number of arguments out there debating the superiority of Snell over ECE and vice versa. But in my opinion, if you're looking for a helmet that has a higher safety standard than DOT approved, you really can't go wrong with either one. Head shape. Everyone's head is shaped a little bit differently, and the safest helmet out there isn't going to work very well if you buy the wrong helmet because it's not shaped for your head. So the three main types of head shapes are a round oval, intermediate oval, and a long oval, with an intermediate oval probably being the most common in North America. So how do you know which is yours? Well, you're going to either take a mirror or have a friend look at the top of your head, okay? We're not concerned about the face. It's just strictly the top when we're talking about shape for helmets. If you were to buy a helmet that's designed for a round oval head shape, and you have an intermediate or long oval, you may feel hot spots or pressure points on the front and back of your head, which is going to make riding uncomfortable for you. By the same token, if you have more of a round oval head and you go and buy a long oval, you're going to feel those pressure points on the sides of your head because that helmet just wasn't designed to fit the shape of your head. Remember, when we're talking head shape, we want to look at the top of the head, not the face. Sizing. The next thing we want to be concerned with is the size of your head. It's really important that your helmet fits snugly. If it's too loose, it's just going to turn from side to side and it's not going to properly stay on your head in the event of a crash. When measuring your head, use a cloth tape. Start it just above your eyebrows and circle it around the thickest point on the rear of your head. Cross-reference this measurement with a helmet size chart. You'll often see those on the helmet manufacturer websites or on some online distributors like, say, Fort9. Keep in mind that a helmet that is too loose will move around or will not sit down completely on your head. A correctly sized helmet will be a little tight, providing even pressure around your head without uncomfortable pressure points. It shouldn't move when you shake your head. Can I save money by buying a used helmet? Technically, if the helmet meets the minimum safety requirements, which is DOT approved, yes, you're legal, but please don't. And here's why. When you start riding, you really need to budget for more than your motorcycle. You need to budget for your insurance and you need to budget for your gear. Now, I'm known to save a few bucks here and there. I've bought used motorcycle jackets. I've even bought used motorcycle boots that were like new. And you can find gloves and you will see helmets listed in classifieds. But here's the problem with buying a used helmet. You don't know if that helmet's been compromised. And a helmet is really a one-time use item. If someone's been involved in any kind of an incident and they've hit their head, that helmet really should be replaced. And it's not always obvious by looking at it whether or not it has been compromised. So, to be safe, how much is your melon worth? Spend the money, get yourself a new helmet. Save the money somewhere else. Does helmet age matter? Well, a rule of thumb is that a helmet shouldn't be any more than 5 years old. That said, if your helmet is older than 5 years, you're still legal. And I'm not going to tell you that your helmet is perfectly fine at 4 years, 11 months, and 29 days, and as soon as it's 5 years plus a day, you need to immediately replace it. The 5-year rule is more of a judgment call. Even the Snell Foundation says that helmets do not automatically need to be replaced after 5 years. A lot of it has to do with how they're used and how they're stored. Wear and tear is going to be a bigger factor. When you're taking that helmet off and putting it back on your head, that's going to cause more wear and tear to the inner lining, which could also affect the sizing of the helmet. The helmet may get looser over time. And if that helmet is loose, it's not going to properly protect you in the event of a crash. So, does age matter? Well, to a point, but it's a guideline. Think, generally speaking, 5 years, you want to replace your helmet, but it's not a hard and fast rule. So if you found this video helpful at all, please click on the like and subscribe button to make sure that you're notified of any upcoming videos. If there's anything in particular you'd like to see covered, I'm making a list. Leave your idea in the comments. Until then, ride on.